Good morning, beautiful people around planet Earth. I'm loving this weather. Perfect time for gardening. Out in my garden. I should watch where I'm walking. Coming out here, spending time with this beautiful Tromboncino. To think this is one seed just blows my mind. And it's still fruiting. Like, I've got so many of them, I just give them away now because I have 100,000 jars of pickles. I just chop them up raw and then just add vinegar, salt, pepper, garlic, garam masala, whatever you want. That's what I put in mine because that's what I have. But she is still fruiting. It's just gorgeous. It's such a habitat. Birds love coming in here. She's kind of giving some protection for Mango, Little Miss Mango, because winter is going to be, it's going to be strange to see how my mango is going to cope. Oh God, I'm loving this weather, people of Earth. It feels like it's been a lifetime waiting for this because it's been so hot, so dry, and now it's lovely. So just coming out and having a wander with you around my garden and talking about all things that you love to do with your life and not following any set schedule and allowing yourself to just, kind of just live life as it is. You gonna balance up there for me or not? Over here. Why not? I'll just keep walking. I'll move this house. So, just living your life intuitively and sporadically, and allowing that intuition to be your guiding force throughout your life. Every single moment of your life. Every single moment. You don't want to get to a certain age and have regrets about how you lived it, how you lived your life and following regiments and doing things because you feel like you have to. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything, people of Earth. And, everybody seems to have an opinion about how you live your life. And if you're not living a conventional life, which I'm very much not, and many people aren't, others seem to have an opinion. Others seem to think, oh, well, what are they doing with their life and how is that so people are like, how is that productive? And it's almost as if they, for some reason, have the right to tell you what you should be doing with your life. Many people seem to think that they know better and they have it all worked out. And most people think if you're not earning a certain amount of money, or if you don't have a certain job, then, you kind of are a little bit less than everybody else and you haven't amounted to anything in your life. That's that conditioning. That's that conditioning that so many of us are conditioned with, controlled by. And that's a real shame because it just shows you how conditioned and influenced the human mind has been from birth. or at least from a young age, of how you should be living your life. And it's only if you get sick and your whole life, or not just sick, but something happens in your life where your whole schedule and your whole career and way you live is absolutely turned upside down. And these also happen for reasons to teach you to open your eyes a little bit wider to the possibilities of other types of living. And a lot of people have a hard time with that. A lot of people blame outside agencies for, big traumatic things that happen in their lives, or sickness that encompasses them. And they're actually there as mechanisms and tools to show you a different way and how to think outside the box. And a lot of people miss that point, that this is what it's there for. Nothing is outside of yourself. There is no other influence outside of yourself that doesn't decide what happens to it. So you do that. You create everything. There's so many people that like to point the finger that, oh, this happened because of this, and she did this to me, and oh, it's because of them that I'm now sick and whatever. But no. Do you know how great the human body is? Do you know what is responsible for creating your body? It's that God stuff, that stuff that is just all miraculous, all healing, all infinite possibilities. You are so capable of healing yourself completely, and then also being your own worst enemy, and literally killing yourself with, sickness. And so having these conditions in place from a early age, really keep people in a limited way of thinking and living, and not being able to see outside the box. And actually, I had a bit of an experience, not an experience, but something that I noted with a friend, and not a close friend, but someone that is a friend. I'd say absolutely a friend. And I had a brief conversation with them a couple of weekends ago. And, when you don't see each other for a long time, they're like, oh, what are you doing? And what are you up to? And I said, well, I'm, just doing my thing as I do. And then they said to me, what is nothing, you mean? And I'm just like, it might be nothing to you, but it's everything to me. Are you kidding? And in their mind, having a full-time job is what it's all about. This person has known that I've worked for myself for a long time and completely lived to my own accord for a very long time, and cannot wrap their head around that if you do not work full-time, then you're basically someone that is not even devalued, but you're not you're not using yourself to the fullest ability. Working to them is a full-time job. See, what this person doesn't realize is that I'm always working, but I'm working towards things that give me joy and pleasure and happiness, and bring in more love into my life. To them, it's working is typically, a 9-to-5 job. And actually, it's funny because my mother also, it took her many years to have this realization that there are other forms of, working and having valued life. When I started working for myself, she would always be like, yeah, but what else are you doing? What else are you doing? What else are you doing? Just like, are you kidding me? This is a full-time job. This is full-time. It's not even a full-time job. This is taking my time full-time. And it takes a lot of deconditioning for people to realize that there are other ways of living. There are other ways to receive abundance in your life. And the conditioning is really hard and ingrained in people. And my mother now, obviously living with me, living in my life now that I'm back in Australia, she can see that for so many years I've lived this certain way and I'm okay. I'm taking care of myself. But it's very hard for people to wrap their heads around not working within that system, and how people are very quick to judge others on their way of life. And so that was a small example that I noticed, how many people just, if you don't work within the system or if you're not working full-time, how they are very quick to judge. And not that this person meant to to come across as offensive, but I noted that. And, you know, the quick dismissal of, so what are you doing? What? You mean nothing? And I'm just like, might be nothing to you, honey, but it's everything. It's everything to me. And so, you know, people get to a certain age in their life where they're really ready to have some change and realize this structure, this system that for many people have been following for many years, and they want to change. People are feeling something different now, and that's great. That's fantastic that people are, although they might have a bit of trepidation, they're actually wanting to try something different in their life, live more authentically by trusting their intuition, allowing that to be the guiding force in their life, and doing things that give them joy. Because I think people get to a point in their life, if they're not happy, they've had enough. They've had enough, and they'll either quit their job, walk out, or whatever, have a meltdown, or just get to a point where enough is enough, and they become sick. So I think before it gets to that point, to acknowledge yourself, acknowledge your sovereignty, and get going with things that you actually love and enjoy in life. Do those things that give you great pleasure, no matter the outcome, because you have to know there is a grand plan for you. There is a grand plan, and although you may not know what that is, there are other portions of yourself that do know. And so you must trust in that. Trust in that higher portion, that expanded portion of yourself that does know and is trying to give you the indications by the feeling good feeling to follow that and trust that and know that you are taken care of. And that is the way it's meant to be. You're meant to feel good in your life. Pain is an indicator that you're, you know, off the authentic track. Pain is an indicator of, you know, realizing something's misaligned and that you need to go back on track for what's right for you. And so trusting in that gauge of what feels good and what doesn't feel good, and allow that to be your barometer. And don't worry about what anybody else says. I've had plenty of people's opinions about me. And you know what? You just get to a point in your life where you just don't give a damn. You don't care what anybody thinks, what anybody says, how you live your life. Have they walked a day in your shoes? No. So I say, you live your life, follow your dreams, and don't worry about what others think of you and how you conduct yourselves and the way you live your life. Whatever resonates with you is what you should follow. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters.